everybody. This is my first test flight with my action camera from DJI, as well as connected to my Mini 3 first flights with the Mini mics connected to it for audio purposes. So let's see how it goes. So with this, I do see the gimbal working its best. It says max power reached for right now, but it does have a little stabilization with the drone, just because, like I said, this camera is a little bit heavy, but the drone is actually doing fairly well with its flying. See me recording here. Hey everyone, I don't know how well the stabilization will be on the camera itself, but we're just gonna check it out. All right, so I'm going to bring it back and we're going to land. So this is test flight number 2. I'm going to just put all raw footage up for this. This is actually a different mount setup. I actually was currently using this one, but I do have a more lower profile just to see if the weight with being lower instead of so high up will make a difference in the initial stabilization. It took about 45 minutes for it to finally balance itself out from initial flights, which you'll see in the video. But we're gonna test this out and see how it does. All right, here we go. So clocking that, it is now stable, moving fairly well. It is talking about the payload and the propellers, but everything is actually flying fairly normal at this time. There's no warnings on this, so we are gonna head out, do some normal flying, maybe put this in a sport mode situation, just to see how everything does initially start going. But it seems fairly good. It is a little hard on the turns, but again, this is in sport mode. Let's try to see what's cinematic and see if those movements are a little bit more shaky or, I don't know. So from now, I can see on my screen what's going on just because of the camera on the drone. But initially my camera, I just have it at a certain angle. So let's see how everything does pick up, which is great. Again, it's a little choppy, but nothing to be not expected just because of its weight with this camera. Hopefully we're getting some good types of views. It does now talk about payload. So let's go back down. Wow, this is pretty neat that it's holding the weight of this camera for this DJI Mini. I am going to put those weights up here. I wish I could get fully accurate weights on the camera itself, but specs, again, you can always find on the website. Let's see how loud the propellers are compared to my talking with the mic right here. It does not have the cancellation on, but here is the cancellation off. So this is me with the noise cancellation. It is trying to stabilize currently. The wind is blowing a little bit right now. I'm not really sure what the wind speed is, but she is definitely working pretty hard right now. Initially started around 70% with battery, and now at 50. It is saying max power reached. And I'm sure, like I said, switching from the modes aren't really gonna do too much. But like I said, it's more than likely the weight of the camera. And this is not gonna really be something I want to truly try and set up with this, just mostly seeing if it does. And it's doing fairly well. Again, even with the movement from the gimbal itself is steady on my screen. I know there's a fluctuation with the drone without me touching it, but again, it's because of the wind and trying to manipulate the weight of trying to manipulate the weight of this camera. But it is pretty rad for this model and for this to do this. So let's try to get it back down, at least down to the ground. Not where I want to, but I am getting a little nervous, so let's head back down. So yes, good, smooth-ish landing for that. It's just playing around with it. Like I said, I haven't really done too much that I've wanted to do since purchasing the drone, and now I have the things that I have. I want to start putting together, trying different things. But like I said, maybe not on a windy day like it is. Not super windy, but with trying to carry the camera in itself, definitely pulling out that max power for those propellers for right now. But oh yeah, this is definitely good. I can definitely see how far I am with the screen on here, and probably retrospect to the camera. But yeah. So it's definitely gonna do a lot of that wobbling. Oh, definitely stabilized itself fairly easily this time compared to the beginning, which think about roughly about 30 to 45 seconds. Like I said, the initial one is on there, and especially this time around, but it definitely is having a hard time staying up and down, not side to side. So you see, so it may just be trying to push that weight of that camera. So, and I'm going up, so let's go down. So let's not overkill the the propeller motor on the battery. Let's unclip this. And there it is. So I don't know how well it'll show up on the screen, but let's see what we got going on right now currently. So she's doing good, no issues now with the flying. Pretty stable. Like I said, it is fairly windy. This is why I'm not gonna try to go too high with this, because my last incident on a windy day caused a good crash. Good crash. But yeah. And these are my stealth orange blades for this. It's supposed to be quieter for flying, and I will put the link to those, and they come in all assortments of colors. But yeah, pretty stoked that it actually works. that it's able to hold at least this amount, because they do have the whole payload situation on here, which it might be the reason why it's doing that. I might need to turn it on here so it knows that there's some type of weight to it. So I don't know. But yeah, it's flying normal. Ooh, whoa. Oh, so see, it did have that. See, it is doing that drift. So, but yeah. All right, guys. This is already with initialized stabilization, with the drone, with the camera on top. So we are going to fly around, say hello, Alexandria. I don't know where she's going, but I do need the rest of that stuff. Just stay right here with me just to see what's going on. And I need you to stay in frame for me so I can capture you. Nah, she said bye. All right. Well, from what I can see on my controller, this hopefully is the same good angle that we are getting with the action camera and with audio. Like I said, the cancellation is off, and hopefully from a distance, it's not bad with the propeller sounds. But yeah, this is definitely gonna be good for up in the canopy situations where I can video myself doing certain things with the camera on and off, just for videography type situations. But like I said, this is just me testing out, having fun with it. I haven't brought it out too much. I've done a lot of videos with it, but just some more cinematic things, not really putting certain paces through, especially with the camera that I do have action-wise. I mean, this is what it's for. To give audio and video at the same time, because I know that you can dub your voice when you're trying to do things with the drone. Those are videos that I've seen, and I've done a couple of those with the audio in the past, but this seems pretty dope. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Just fun play around and showing you guys. Again, I'll be doing some more tree climbing stuff, hopefully some outdoor camping situations too later on, especially now it's getting into the cooler and not the hottest parts of the summer going into the fall. But yeah, I do have a situation to where I'm sure you can see over here that my rope did get stuck. So I do have to eventually get up there and get it down. It's the throw line that I had, and so it got stuck between always those Y branches and wrapped around, and it's hung. So I'm probably just gonna have to scale up there eventually to get it. But nonetheless, I'm just chattering. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Oh, and by the way, this is SW Outdoors, SkyWalker Outdoors, and I'll see you guys on the next one.